All right.
How's it going on today?
What's good?
It's
What's
kind of
going
windy.
on? They love juice, Coy. What's
What's
going
up?
on? T
What's up?
King. What's up,
What's up?
everybody? Yeah.
Hopefully everybody's good. Everybody's safe.
Yeah. We doing good. We doing good.
Everybody's avoiding Omarion, not getting touched.
Yeah. Getting crazy, man.
There we go. So the little running around today, so excuse me, still getting it together here.
Oh, okay. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, man. Just relaxing.
That'll work. That'll work. You have a good week. No
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. Everything's good. Everything's good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Drinking my coffee out of the cup representing the greatest military unit in the
Oh,
nation,
yeah.
United States Air Force.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I know I'm going to get some blowback from that later. So,
You know how it is. We too old. You know what it is. We too old to do that. We be like, wait a minute. Yeah, I work with y'all.
yeah, there we go. It's like, hey, the more the better, man. Hey, we all
Yeah,
on the
we
same
did
team.
exercise with y'all, so it's all good.
There we go.
Yeah, man. Man, what a day. What a day.
Yeah. Who else
We're
we got
doing
in
too
here?
much. Just ready for
Deacon, what's
this
up? What's
solid
up?
Saturday.
Rodney Brady, what's up? $2. See you in the house.
That's
Got
good, man. $2. How's it going?
There you go. I got to get me some more of those sauces. Just reminded me. Still got some seasonings. I
Okay.
need some more sauces.
Hi,
So.
everybody.
Carbon,
Doing.
fantastic. How you doing?
Thank
How you
you.
doing?
Thank you. How are you guys doing?
All
Carbon
right.
looks so fantastic. He had me. My voice started cracking.
Mine's gonna start cracking.
How you feeling?
71% better.
That's
It's
good.
touch and go, but for the most part, better. Thank you.
Glad to have you back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Most definitely.
Hi,
Yeah.
chat. Hi, everybody in the chat.
Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good. I took your advice and
Hi, Koi.
learned the view and how to make us look like okay. We got
Much better, right?
much better.
Hi, Koi. CW.
Yeah,
TK. $2. Rodney.
Nice to have everybody coming on.
yeah, it's good to have everybody, man.
How was your New Year's starting out?
Good.
Yeah.
Everything's been good, man. Taking time. That's all we can do. Take our time.
Yeah. For me, I'm just very, very concerned with the way things are going overall.
Mm-hmm.
The signs are not looking good, for the rest of the year as far as, just simple things like food, seeing things we use every day, like food and electricity and stuff like, small things, but just taking it day by day, making sure, staying prepped and trying to get as many people, on that same boat. But I think a lot of people are seeing, some of the things that are coming and trying to get, prepared as possible. So but I'm doing good.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, because it's serious out here, man.
Yeah.
One minute you wake up is you got groceries, you go to sleep, wake up, everything's covers bare.
Yeah.
Yeah. Besides just getting stuff, we really have to learn to conserve what we have.
Facts.
I'm not saying stop your whole lifestyle, but just be aware.
Yeah.
It might be a time where it's just
Yeah.
not there, right?
It's not a times of plenty. It's easy to, blow stuff, but when times get lean, you have to start, being more conservative, not just like you said, just stop living your life, but realize that, some of those things that we like may not be easily replaceable or replaceable in the same time frame that we had, before. So, just take it, everything, a step at a time and, keep living. You don't want to be miserable, but, be mindful as well. So I think that's a good strat.
Absolutely. Take care of yourself. Take care of your
Mental, physical, spiritual. You got to do it. A lot of us are, going through that, especially. I know we talked about that before during the wintertime, how naturally, a lot of people who have those increased incidents of depression and stuff like that because the lack of decreased sunlight. But we have to maintain that year round as well. Do those things that help your mental health. Be around people that encourage you and lift you up. And cut out those things that don't do that. We have to guard that because that, kind of helps us get through everything else. So, love up on your brothers and sisters, love up on those that are around you, lift them up, be there to help them, because you never know. Just a word, just helps you get through a situation that may seem dire to that person, and keeps them going, keeps them from doing something that, we don't want them to do. So take it serious, people. We need each and every one of us out here. So
Absolutely.
Big Jack 308, what's good?
Hey, Big Jack.
One thing quick, I was going to do a quick medical. It seems like there's an increased incidence of people rolling up on motor vehicle accidents or emergency situations and not being prepared, or just kind of standing around. I don't know if you guys saw that police shooting in North Carolina, where apparently the brother either jumped up on the truck or got hit by the truck. Then the police officer got out and then shot him, and then there was a nurse that was on site, and he verbally told her, don't help him. And she was like, bump you. I'm gonna help him. Yeah. And so the police officer got on the phone at his radio, and he's like, "Oh, these people are hostile. These people are hostile. It's a hostile crowd." And the guy's like, "Don't do that. Don't do that." One of the police were like, "Don't do that. Stop. We're not hostile. We're not doing that. Don't, because when they hear hostile, they're gonna roll up, guns drawn, this, that, and the other." So the lady tried to intervene, but everybody else was kind of casually just like standing around, just like, okay, what do we do? So just a couple things, that everybody can have, and be of help. I know one of the brothers that were there, he didn't have anything on him, so he had to take off his shirt. And this is the one brother who told him, "Hey, don't say that. We're not being hostile." And he was like, the officer's like looking at him, "Why'd you take your shirt off? Are you getting, confrontational?" But he wanted her to use it as a way to help stop the bleeding. So, to prevent that, that's a good stopgap. But just get a couple of these. This is a 4-inch flat pressure dressing, trauma dressing. These things are dirt cheap, so a lot of times you'll see them on Amazon or medical supply stores. Go out and get you a couple of these. Or they have a 6-inch one, which is like a dense packed. So that'll prevent you from having to use your shirt. And of course, the first thing people do when usually you get a cut, they put pressure on it. Take this, put that pressure on it. That prevents you from having to use a shirt. It's highly absorbent. You can put that pressure on. If it needs more pressure, you can take it, save us in the lower extremity, put your knee on top of that, put that pressure on that. And that can be the difference between somebody living and somebody dying. And these things are dirt cheap. You can get you a little bag. This is a Ziploc bag, which makes this kind of water resistant. And I have different types of wraps in here. I have gauze, different types of gauze. I have the expandable wrap that you use like for sports. You can use that to hold pressure on the dressing. So I have these in here. I have a wide gauze. I have a narrow gauze. And if you take a Stop the Bleed class, you learn how to use these. You wrap the end around your finger, and you can kind of pack that into that dressing, into that hole, into that wound, to kind of help stem some of the bleeding. And you'll be surprised how something as simple as that, having this, which is relatively inexpensive, packing that wound and then putting pressure on it, can save somebody's life. So you don't have to have an extensive medical kit. You can take a few of these. These are dirt cheap. Get 3 or 4 of these. Get 3 or 4 of these. Get you this pressure dressing, And of course, I always tell people to get hand wipes. I buy these for $1 in the store. Throw those in your purse. Throw those in a bag, and you're set to be able to save somebody's life. And also get you some nitrile gloves. Excuse me. Sorry about that. These are dirt cheap. There's a box. I think this box that I have has 50 of them in there, and it's like less than $5. If you don't want to have them like this, a quick trick that I use, I fold them in half. I started the finger in and just roll them up. So if you have a kit that has you may see like little spots on there where you can like put rolled up, or you see like little hoops on there, you can take these, roll them up, roll, and it's very compact and very small. Every one of these that you have, that's a set of gloves. If you want, you could put, a Band-Aid on it, or put it in your pack, and you have this small little thing. And I have like 3 or 4 of these in each one of my, IFAC kits. So take those, throw those in your bag, have this in there, and you have a kit that can save somebody's life. And all that is going to cost you maybe $10, $15 at the most. So you can save somebody's life for $10 and $15. Of course, like they said, a 250 piece of medical kit, emergency kit, that's fantastic. That's, something that, you can get at a low cost as well. And I also say, you know, once you get those 250 pieces, go through them, go through that kit, learn what it is, what it works. You know, sometimes you have to sacrifice, you know, cost of some of those, open up some of those packages, see what they look like, what they feel like. Because one of the things I saw also, there was somebody that was there. They were trying to, you know, open up this package. How do you get the package open? You know, sometimes these things are vacuum sealed and they're hard to open. So if you're struggling with this and don't have the ability to open it, that's time that's wasting. So that's why I always carry like a little pocket knife, you know, in my pocket or in your purse. You can take this, cut it open, and get open a little bit easier. So you don't want to waste any time. Every second counts when you get in an emergency. So these little things, again, you know, I spent maybe like $15 on the supplies. This is a knife. This knife was like a $30-$40 knife. And, you know, you have under $100, you have a kit that can save you, your loved one's life, somebody you roll up on life. So since we're seeing more and more of that, I would love to see people, you know, not let cost be a blockade to being able to help somebody. Really inexpensive stuff that you can do. Get it out. Like $2 got that kit. Get in that kit. See what it does. Look for some stuff online. North Florida Tactical has a lot of good posts he puts up on there routinely on Instagram. And he does doing some stuff on YouTube, and he has classes as well. They have classes out there as well. Check out his Instagram, North Florida Tactical. He has really good stuff. He's asking questions. What would you do with this? You know, look at this situation. What do you think? You know, we have to ask ourselves these questions. Are we going to be of help? Or are we going to be of hindrance if we roll up on an emergency situation? I would like everybody to be of help, because one day that may be me laying on the side of the road. So I want people out there who are not going to listen to that police officer when he says, "Hey, don't help him," and say, "You know what? Bump you. I'm getting in here and getting my hands dirty and helping this." Because then that's the lady says. He goes, "That's a person. That's, you know, that's a human life. I'm not going to let you do this." So that's my little medical for this week.
That's good. That's good info, man. That is good info. And that's what we stress on this channel at Survival Saturday, that we just trying to keep everybody informed to the fullest. And, you know, if you didn't get it last Saturday, go back and check it out. We're going to be here. You know, we're making sure that you had stuff that we talked about last year. We're going to bring it up sometimes this year. So,
Hi, Chief Fires, old school.
Yeah. So,
very good points. BP, definitely have something in your car, whether it's your car, your EDC bag, carry something, even if it's just your tourniquet.
Always have it. You know, just
have something, because you never know.
Because you never ever know. We can't plan. We can't predict. So, you know, I know we were talking about stuff we did over last year. There was a lot of stuff that you brought up, Carbon, over the last year. Supplies, this and that and the other, you know, like you see the water behind you, the importance of having those things. Did you want to talk about maybe some of that stuff that you recall from the last year, or
I think it's
to bring up any?
As far as prepping goes, it's your survival, and you have to do your part in that survival. You know what you need. I know it can be very overwhelming when you're starting, but just start with small stuff like BP just said: a box of gloves, get a first aid kit, water, food. Those are things that you need, right? Everyday things that you need, and just keep adding to it. The way it looks in the grocery stores all over, people are saying the shelves are bare. But, you know, some people will be like, "Oh, you guys are over dramatic," yada yada yada. Pay attention to the price of chicken. Pay attention to the price of meats. Period. That they're disappearing. Everyday products that you normally use, you're not seeing it now. Now you're seeing the off brands. You have a supply chain that's messed up. There's boats that's sitting in the water and they can't even get here. The stock is dying out there because they can't even get into the ports. So you got to figure, if you don't prepare now, at some point, all of this is going to catch up to all of us.
True.
Put yourself in a position to survive something, anything, or your family, you know, just put a little bit away. You don't have to be like extreme people or whatever. Just put something away. At least put water and food away. You're going to need medical supplies, because when stuff hits the fan, police is not coming to help you. These emergency services won't be able to help you, because they're going to be running all over to everybody else who didn't prepare.
True.
You're going to have to be your savior. You're going to have to be the one that's going to take care of you. Have a tool bag, whether you're male, female. You should have a good tool bag with tools to help board up your windows, fix your faucet, change light bulb, patch a hole, add whatever it is. You should have tools available to you to use to protect your household or fix something in your house until you can get somebody there to help you. At the end of the day, we can sit here and tell you get this, get this. You have to make the first move to go get it and put yourself in a position to help yourself. I think $2 that he had to use his first aid kit last week on somebody.
Mhm.
I'm happy that he had it. That makes me feel good. Siege is not feeling well, so y'all keep Siege in your prayers. Siege started buying her stuff and putting little things away. People are doing their little bits and pieces. Do yours. Make sure you're good. You know, there's websites on here that you can go onto. Like if we don't have enough time to explain it, or you could DM us and be like, yo, can you go over this part or whatever?
Most definitely.
Yeah. And we'll help you. Like I started at the first pandemic. I just saw how food was crazy, how you can't get toilet paper. I was like, this is nuts. I just started stocking my stuff up from there. I'm not doing this for 10 years. I'm doing this for like what, maybe 2 years, a year and a half into it. But I plan to survive something, even if it's the extra 6 months. Yeah, I gotta make sure my kid is good. I mean, he's in the Marines, but at the end of the day, if I gotta go, I'm fine with that. I just want to make sure my kid is good. If I don't get to use it, he knows where to come and get stuff.
There you go.
My sister knows what to do at the end of the day. Now they don't prep. They be like, crazy. My crazy sister got it on my mom is a nut job. she got it at her house, but at the end of the day, they know somebody's prepared. Be that somebody in your family. You may not want to deal with all those people when stuff hit the fan. It's going to be hard for you to turn family away. If you choose to prep for a few extra people, get some canned goods. It's not gonna kill you. We spend money on stuff that's not gonna save our life. Just for a week, take that money that you would use for whatever and spend it on some stuff that might save your life.
Exactly. That Starbucks money. Take that, $5-10 a day and just spend $20. I loved when RGG did that $20 gallon. It was all $20. So just spend $20, every paycheck or every week just to go buy something. You'll be surprised how quickly you can build up very good, cache of supplies and things and you can use to help you in your survival. C5, C Siege, what's up?
Hey, Siege, welcome back.
Man, Devil
up in the house.
Our Fly family.
Billy.
Realist, what's up?
Yeah, Saint Realist.
Yeah. So, but Carbon said it, you know your situation. So what applies to Carbon may not 100% apply to me or apply to Ben Shooten, but the principles are the same. Getting prepared, being prepared, having food, water, and shelter, and be able to have that for, initially 72 hours, and then extend that to, maybe 3 weeks, and then extend that to maybe 3 months. Those are like the, markers that they typically set, 72 hours is like, basic. Can I survive 72 hours? So food, water, shelter for that period. So
Saint said, absolutely, your fitness, probably your biggest ticket to surviving anything, even if you don't have supplies. Your fitness will help you get some supplies.
Exactly. Or move to an area, like you said, have to move to an area where those supplies are, get out of a bad situation, or that's tantamount to survival. It's fitness 100%.
There's so many places out here. There's so many places out here that have ready-made bags. Spend $300 and get the bag.
Yeah.
I don't know why my volume's so low. I hate that.
Hey, Saint, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going, bro?
I don't know if we could hear you.
I think his mic is off.
Yeah, your mic is off. But yeah, there's tons of bags, survival bags, medical bags. You're going to pay a premium, so realize that. Like I said, when you could put them together, but if you're uncomfortable with that, Go
Mm-hmm.
out and get those pre-made bags, and have something ready. And like I love how Carbon emphasized, have them in your car, have one in your house, because you never know where you're going to be when it happens. You may be at work, and you may be only 10 miles from your house. That
Yeah.
10 miles may as well be 100 miles if the road's out. If something else is going on, if it's a
Yeah.
riot situation, you may as well be 100 miles from home. So have those things on you.
Mhm.
And one of the other things too is, the infrastructure bill just passed. So the state of America infrastructure is terrible. These roads were built in the 40s, 50s, and early 60s. They're
Yeah.
falling apart. So just think of how many bridges and overpasses are between you and your workplace. If one of those bridges go out, what do you do? How do you get home? How do you think that traffic's going to be just, a smooth and easy way to get home? No, it's going to be difficult for you just to travel that 10 miles.
Yeah.
And a lot of these roads and overpasses and bridges are going to, in the near future, be having construction on them and causing these potential, bottlenecks and this, and that, and the other. And God forbid they totally fail or you have
Mhm.
another situation. So it's
Mhm.
not outside the realm of possibility that you may be in a situation to where you have to walk home 10
Yeah.
miles. And it's
Yeah.
not going to be a straight line on flat ground. So,
Mhm.
so
And now they're telling you ahead of time. I was watching. I don't know if anybody follows her. Her name is D Eyes. She was saying they were expecting a storm in her neck of the woods,
yeah,
and that her power company called her and told her there's going to be shortages, no electricity, all of that way
yeah,
before it had just, the storm even hit.
there you
So
go.
yeah.
DeerMeat,
DeerMeat,
what's up, brother?
what's good?
What's up? What's up,
What's going on?
man? I'm sorry about me coming in so late, man.
That's
Man,
all
you're
I was
always
good.
trying to
on
make sure
time.
I got on here, man.
You're always on time, man.
Yeah.
What's good?
Yeah.
Good job.
Man, I'm uh,
Can't hear you.
Breaking up just a
coming
little bit.
back. Let me make sure I get in a good.
Yes, you're breaking up. It's hard to.
Breaking up.
Give me a few.
Big fish. What's up?
Oh, give me
See,
a few.
she got some boots. That's
Okay.
good. There you
Okay,
go.
yeah. You wanna come back in when you get to a better spot?
Yeah, I'll come back in as soon as I can get to a little better spot.
All
Okay.
Okay.
right, we got you.
Okay.
All right.
And Steve just said she got some new boots and it's gonna start
She's got COVID and she's still
still out here. Just easy.
still
It's
shout out to C.
no
Get it,
joke, all right? No
girl.
joke. Crazy prepping lady in the family.
Nope, you're not the crazy lady because
Hey,
when stuff
when it
hits the
happens, is that you're not
yeah,
gonna be crazy anymore.
you're gonna be that lady. They're gonna
Exactly. Just
go see Miss C's,
go see his house. She got everything. Yeah. So hey,
Kind of like how your grandmother was. Everybody be
uh,
ripping and running until they need something. Go see
hey,
grandma. Go see
go see
grandma.
grandma.
Grandma got everything.
Yeah.
Okay,
According to
that's
C
good.
Man, he's up in
See, man.
Alaska.
Yeah, it's no joke up there, man. That weather and yeah. And we have to
Damn,
all have that
man.
mentality.
Alaska. Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sleeping bags for $21, rated for 30 degrees. That's a good price.
You can't beat that. So
Yeah.
price obviously isn't, a barrier. It's just ourselves getting, taking the initiative and getting out there and finding out what we need and getting it.
So my thing with that is get what your budget can afford.
Yeah.
You know, if if you can't get the like latest thing or the best thing, don't worry about it. Get what you can get.
Yeah.
You can MacGyver that thing and make it work just as well as something else. You might just have to find a different way to do it. Don't worry about the price as long as you have something that can help you get it.
And test it out.
Yeah,
The other day I got my roll and went out on the, balcony, put my, liner down, put my padding down, and
nice. Okay.
laid outside there just to see,
Yeah,
what is, is it, sweaty? It makes you sweat too much, this, that, and the other. So test your equipment out.
yeah.
Get out there
Do
and put
you
it
know
on.
the number one item that is mostly overlooked in survival?
What's
The
that?
number one item that's
All right.
overlooked in survival.
What's that?
A can opener.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you should have those tools. Open up those cans. Yeah.
Well, Lady Love,
Yeah. I have my Leatherman that has those multiple tools. So I have 3 or 4 different can openers in there. So, because it doesn't do you any good if you got a can of beans. You can't get at it. So,
now look how important you become if you have somebody that has a whole bunch of cans and no can opener, and you don't have no food, but you got a can opener.
there you go. So you're the
You
king.
gotta work that. You keep something to keep. Don't let don't worry about it because you never know when it'll help you out in a tight spot.
There you go. Have your tools, have your stuff on you.
Much better. Thank you, Lady Love. How are you?
Shout out to Lady Love. Shout out
Back in the
for
house.
Slick Back.
Mhm.
Sure how's it
UB
going?
Double Row.
My fly family.
Yeah.
She's cussing already.
Yeah. Gotta do it.
I think Gershon, you guys are doing a camp. Gershon, been shooting.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that definitely. Because again, it's getting out there, that practical application and sharing of information and knowledge, that goes a long way. We're getting this stuff, we're getting this equipment. Some of us have been out in the field, but getting out there and seeing, best practice, kind of tech kind of ideas, okay, how does this work? How do you do this? How do you handle this situation? We can always learn from each other because there's a wealth of information, and you'd be surprised. I mean, it's just amazing, people's levels of information. So we're sharing that, with everybody.
And I tell everybody too, this is a good time where you get your echinacea, your apple cider vinegar, your elderberry, things like that. Hold on, let's see what. Hey, hey!
Can
Hey,
y'all hear me now?
Yes,
Oh
sir.
yeah,
You got it.
Good, good.
Sound good?
Man, I was trying to get in here.
You did.
I'm
You
trying my
did.
best.
You
that's
good.
all good. That's all good. You made it.
Yeah. How y'all doing today?
how are you?
Good.
Doing
I'm
good,
doing all
brother.
right.
I got a question for you. For a beginner fisherman, or a person who wants to fish, what rods do you prescribe or prefer they would use?
Uh, hold on one second. What I would say is, if you're a beginner fisherman, some of the easiest fish the catch probably gonna be like a panfish
Mhm.
or bait fish, which is like a brim, a bluegill,
Okay.
a crappie or a catfish, something like that.
Okay.
And the gear that I would use, me personally, is
Hmm.
something that's easier to use, like the push button reels, like
Hmm.
a zip code 33, which
Okay.
probably is the best out of all of those. You
Okay.
got the 202s. They are some pretty good reels, but they tend to have a plastic gear setup. So
Hmm.
if you catch a larger fish, besides something over the size of a brim or something like that, it tend to strip the gears out. Um,
Okay.
a lot of people like fishing with open face reels. That's the ones that um, most people gonna grab. The ones that's got the little bell on it, and you flip it over, hold the string with your hand, and throw it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. But if you would ask me, I would probably tell somebody to get a zip code. But it's probably one of the most functional and reel that you could buy and that will hold up because they still do metal housing because they got one that's called a zip code 33 classic.
Okay.
Can you call the price range on some of those entry level ones?
Uh, a zip code you could get a whole setup for probably about $35.
Okay, cool.
Your average open face reel, you can go to Walmart and buy it. They got the catfish pole set up. Walmart usually have a sale on them all the time, but about 25 to $30. So that's, like I said, that's probably about the least expensive way to get into fishing if you starting to
Yeah.
fish and stuff like that. It's probably one of the least expensive ways. And just try to use bait and a hook
Okay,
with
now baiting,
the
that's
bobber.
my whole thing. Learning the different types of bait or lures to use and when to use those. Is there any general information that people can, kind of follow?
Um, your worms gonna probably pretty much be something that's pretty much all year round.
Okay.
Um, um,
Good
In the
double.
spring or the summer, I probably would say crickets probably are some of the best thing to use.
Okay.
But if you like me, I do a lot of artificial baits, like plastic worms, crankbaits, and stuff like that. But I
Plastic
mean,
worm, Carvin. Plastic
Yeah.
yeah, plastic worms. I tend to
Woo.
use some of that most of the time. Just for it's the sport. It's more of the sport for me.
Okay.
Like me fishing, I want the challenge. So if you don't know how to present the lure, then you ain't gonna catch nothing.
All right. So is that just by trial and error that people can learn, or how can I stop wasting, or trying to get that skill level built up,
It's pretty much like you said, trial and error. Like
Okay.
if you want to learn to do like competitive fishing or just the sport itself, because you still gonna have bad days.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the one of the best things to use is like they got something called well, I just call it a crankbait, because
Mm-hmm.
you got a rattle trap and stuff like that. Those are search break baits. You throw it out there, you covering a lot of water, in a short amount of time, and then once you find that pocket, then you can go to a more of a precision lure.
Okay.
Something that moves slower. Where if you got something that's gonna need to move a little faster, you can go to. They got a lure called a chatterbait.
Okay.
It's kind of like a jig, but it's on a faster pace. But it's
Okay.
not actually a search lure like
Okay.
a crankbait.
Cool. Cool. Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
information.
I have no idea what you guys talking about, but don't worry, I'm gonna watch
I,
the
like
video.
like I said, the easiest thing is gonna probably be like using the bait itself, like I said, crickets or worms or something like this. It's gonna be that's gonna be the most easy and efficient way to go and catch fish. Like if you out on doing survival, you don't want to do it as a sport. You don't want to go out there and take the chance of catching something or not, because you can get good and always catch fish, but you got a higher chance of catching something if you use a live bait.
Okay.
Cause a fish, it's gonna have the smell. The worm gonna move or the cricket gonna kick.
Okay.
So it's gonna give them the reaction. They'll bite off reaction. The
Mhm.
smell is gonna give a different flavor in the water. So
Okay.
yeah,
So live bait
Hmm.
is actually a plus in those
yeah, yeah,
situations.
yeah.
So,
But like you said, you got if you're in a survival, you can go anywhere, flip a log over,
Mhm.
uh, turn some sticks over. If you're out in the woods, you can kick some wet leaves back. It's gonna be bait wherever you go.
there you go.
And if you want to have survival, they make some fishing poles that you can like they sink into each other, collapse, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
collapse, and they get small. I'm talking about small, maybe the length of maybe probably about 8 inches long, and it'll
Yeah.
shrink down to that much. It has a
Mm-hmm.
small little reel on it. If there's something you want to throw in your bag or
Mhm.
just to keep in your truck. With me, I usually keep some fishing line, because I'll just get me a tree limb or something, just tie the line on it. Make sure I got me some hooks that's available. So if something happen, at least I know I can go catch fish.
Yeah.
Fish everywhere. You
Yeah.
can go to your nearest ditch and it's a fish.
Yeah.
Most times it is.
But is it
That,
fish that you can eat? Like, how do you tell an area that's has good edible fish versus pollution is all over nowadays? So like,
I mean, most water.
mhm.
I mean, all water kind of
chicken
got
there.
its
Yeah.
got its germs. Most of all water got its germs. But if you get there and the water, like out here in the country, all the water is brown, but you
Mhm.
still got like a stagnant water, like a smell. You'll walk up and you can smell it.
Mhm.
Before you get to it, the water real dirty. You can see pollution in it, and it's got that smell to it. Then I don't advise it. But most of the time, if you go somewhere, the water look pretty clear. For around here, it's gonna be muddy, but it'll still have a clear look to it. you just you know, you can smell it. If it don't smell bad and the water's actually moving, like I try to go, if the water's running, then you got a pretty good chance that it ain't as bad. You know, that's
Yeah.
just like the Mississippi River here. A lot of people like I don't fish in the Mississippi River, but it's so much water moving
Mm-hmm.
that you don't have to worry about it. It's thousands and thousands of gallons of water moving out
Okay.
to the Gulf. So I mean, I don't know. That's just me.
Hey,
Sure will.
hey, I got something I was just told on Carbon Q. Here we go. We got that black elderberry syrup.
I have some.
It's echinacea
Mm-hmm.
and chlorophyll.
Thank you. Got all
Mhm.
three.
No, I know when I was growing up, my grandfather read, he had us out there. He had a worm farm, and I can't remember, but I think Pimp was asking how long can that live bait be kept. And I'm trying to remember. It wasn't super long, but it wasn't short either.
So I have an actual bait form myself.
Mm-hmm.
I went and bought some California red worms to
Mm-hmm.
start it off,
Yeah.
and I had a few that I picked up in the yard or whatever, and
Yeah.
they kind of pretty much made it in that and took off from there. But if you keep them in a cool environment and you feed them at least twice a week,
Mm-hmm.
you don't really have to worry about it. Like make sure that that whatever you put them in, like I had them in a tote. So the tote actually has two levels to it. You need to have one with the dirt.
Mm-hmm.
Then you gonna put dirt in the. Well, you gonna take the. I'm finna tell you how to do it because I'm talking too fast. But look, so what you gonna do is your first tote. That's gonna be your drain tote. Your second tote, you want to get it, drill some very small holes in it. All right, that's from when you feed them the liquids and juices from whatever that's in there that's decaying to drain into the water that's left over.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You want to put your dirt. You want to put a level of dirt, and you want to use something like some newspaper or cardboard, shredded cardboard.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be your bedding. You're gonna wet it. Another layer of dirt. Another layer of cardboard. Then you're gonna do dirt again, and
Mm-hmm.
then to one side you always gonna feed on that one side. That's how I usually do it. I always feed on one side. I
Yeah.
dig the dirt back. If I had leftover cucumbers or tomatoes or anything like that, that right there, I would pull dirt back, put it in there, cover it up, put the top on it. That'll keep the fruit flies away from it. But if you got your top deep enough, you won't have fruit flies or anything like that. All right. You I usually feed I probably feed mine probably about I feed them about twice a week. Like I said, depending on how much leftover like cabbages or something that I got that's left. And then they'll reproduce and stuff like that by themselves. And they'll once in a while you just go out there like a little spritz bottle, spray the dirt to keep the dirt from drying out, and they'll turn it and turn it and turn it. You
Yeah.
know, the worms itself will turn the dirt, and the actual juice or whatever will be in the bottom tote. You can use that to fertilize your plants. So if you got house plants, you can take that, pour it in there. It's gonna grow.
And that's
It's
bringing
gonna
back
grow.
memories. My grandpa, he was from
Good to
Mississippi. He
know.
moved to California, so we had those California red worms. We had the beds outside, and like you said, we going to throw away stuff in the trash. He goes, "Boy, give me that stuff. I'm gonna put that in the." And so we
Mm-hmm.
take the tomatoes and stuff. But that's bringing back those
Mm-hmm.
memories, man. That's good
But
information.
I tell people you don't really have to use a container. The container is just there so you know they there all the time.
Yeah.
Uh, you could actually build a box in your yard.
Mm-hmm.
Build it probably about a foot and a half high. Put fresh dirt and just lay cardboard down on top of it, and then do it again. And you could do that from just out in the yard. But I don't know if you want to just have a bait farm in the front yard, but I mean, it's something to have. It's something that'll be plentiful because if something else happens, like I said, you always got that for nutrition if you want to try it.
There you go. There you go. You ready, Carbon?
Good to know. Carbon's not ready, huh?
I'm getting there. It's getting better. It's getting
You said you're gonna be ready.
There's sauce on there, man.
steps. I thought he was talking about the deers. You came up here with the worms. I wasn't ready for worms.
She was prepared for the hunting.
Right. Like I looked at the field nice set. I was like, I won't do it, but I'll make sure I have one in my kit in case somebody else knows how to do it. I'll be like, here you go. Knock yourself out. You said worms now in the backyard. You said for nutrition, like to eat the worm?
Yeah, like if it came down to it, I mean,
Right.
worms are full of protein nutrition for you. They good for you if it came down to it.
Okay.
And I'm sorry for people in the chat if I ain't responding because I do not know how to work StreamYard. They're good, and I can't see what I'm looking for.
That's all good.
It's lady love. I mean, it's good information to know too. Just because I may not be able to, kill the animal, doesn't mean that I still can't help in another way.
Oh yeah, I mean, you got different people for
different
they
things.
gonna play different roles.
Yeah,
and it's key to have a certain person in a certain role.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
Definitely. It's gonna take a community.
Yeah, it's gonna take a community for sure.
And but it's good to know too because I may be able to tell somebody that didn't know. Listen, this is what you gotta do. Then we said,
Carbon has the beans and rice. I got the beans and rice. You can eat them worms up.
You see, you can eat it though. I don't know, but you can.
I mean, if it came down to it, like I said, you can always use some of that dirt, the actual compost from the box to grow your vegetables. It'll have even if you did the outside one, if you just did that there for say a month, and then you take some of that dirt and you move it over 2 foot or 10 foot, that actual box, the worms will actually travel from that one box to that other box once the food started to break down. And that old box, you can actually use that for gardening. The soil is real rich, like everything will grow right there. Just about anything.
There you go.
So I heard Lead Farmer, he said he uses the water from his fish tank to help his that's healthy.
Yeah, that's healthy.
Oh, okay. I never knew. I heard him say it, but I never heard of that.
Just gotta saute him right, Siege. You saute.
Oh man, this is
those are good survival lessons. I mean, I'm a city girl, so at the end of the day, it's good to learn these things because it's back to that. People are going back to living.
She ain't going fishing. She Chef Boyardee,
I'll go. Somebody got to put the worm on the hook, but I'll go fishing, and I'm not gonna gut it and take the head off that stuff, but I'll put it in, the thing in the water.
It probably would happen
if
it was a time that it wasn't nobody there to do it for you. You'll probably break on down and be like, God, I don't know. But once you start cooking it and smelling it, you're gonna be like, well, old fish, time for you to go.
Once those ribs get touching, right, I'll be out there.
Come on, gonna eat it.
There you go. All right, see.
Yeah.
No worms.
I was hoping that I got to get something this morning so I could tell y'all about it, but I ain't getting nothing. It was raining. It was cold. I just got on up after about 3 hours and went on back to the camp.
So again, that's teaching that patience. You have to have patience a lot of times.
Oh yeah, you got to have that. Yes, sir. That's the main part of hunting is patience.
Yeah.
You may be out there 5 to 6 hours before anything even walk past to even, have the opportunity. But I mean, it's pretty much that luck,
Good question.
you can have the best spot in the world, and that day nothing might not show up. It's like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe the wind was blowing in the wrong direction. Maybe it was raining, anything. Because deers tend to move a lot less when it's raining, so they kind of bed down a little bit more.
So
That
that
was a
kind
good
of,
question. I'm sorry, Beefy.
I was going to say that kind of takes you back to having information too, like if the weather's changing and it's coming from north to south and it's changing from here to here, east to west, you may have to change your position. So you have to be aware of your surroundings, your environment, and stuff like that. So
Right.
So you can't just go out there and not have some skills or information. So that's always good to know too.
So, are there any worms that are common but have poison or venom to avoid? Billy was asking.
I don't know. We kind of got around here most of these European worms and
Here's the answer.
the red worms. Them the only ones I really know of. Them the ones I tend to be in this area. It's some Canadian worms here, but they kind of far and few. I know these ones in this area. The ones that you see in the store, the green ones, they ain't actually green like that. It's something that they ate. Most of the time, the fishermen, the people that send the worms out, if you want green worms, the one they tend to be glow in the dark worms. That's because they feed them dye. That's most worms gonna be a pinkish or a red color, and I ain't seen none that was poison. I haven't seen any.
I wonder if that's toxic at all or has any effects if you eat them. That green dye.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I don't think it is because the fish eat it and then I eat the fish.
There you go.
So they steal my bait and I eat them.
There you go.
I don't think it is.
You clean it out anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
So, Quay's to ask about trapping.
Okay, trapping. I do very little trapping, but I do know about it. Most of the time, it's like I was telling Carbon Q last week. The trapping that I would do probably would be squirrel and rabbit. They'd probably be the animals that I would go for on trapping. Raccoon they a little too feisty. They're a lot more of a problem because they gonna fight back. Squirrel, you can always make like I said, take your stick, lean it up against a tree if you can find your acorn tree or hickory tree, oak tree, any tree that has nuts on it, or you can find something that carry berry. Like in this area, we got huckleberry trees.
Now is trapping seasonal?
It is. It is here. It is. Only animals that you can trap here, I think, most of the year is raccoons and possums. And I am a wildlife food, and I'm not gonna eat no possum. That joke will be smiling too much for me.
Yeah, dude, that face is like, ugh.
That joke is always smiling. Even when he in trouble, he's smiling. I don't want him.
Several said coyotes too.
Coyotes out here, they you can hunt them. They got predator hunting seasons. You can kill them all year, but they more of a nuisance out here than anything. That's why like raccoons and stuff are pretty much all year round because they're a nuisance. It's so many of them, and so many people tend not to hunt them as much as they used to. So they plentiful everywhere.
And they're a nuisance for, I know, not only livestock, but your pets and stuff like that. People's pets in their backyards, cats, dogs, stuff like that. So,
especially people that got chickens and stuff like
yeah,
that.
chickens,
Possum bad for that. They
definitely
eat
chickens.
eggs. They tend to steal eggs a lot if you got chicken farm.
Yeah.
Oh,
See, just put pressure on me.
Oh yeah, she did. Yeah. See,
Siege, if I get hungry enough, I might. Like he just said, they be messing with your pets. I'm gonna shoot a. I'll shoot an animal if you come to mine.
There you go.
I will without thinking about it. So,
nah.
would you clean him?
huh?
Would you clean that?
If you shoot it, you got to clean it.
We have the, each one help one. I shot it. You killed.
Teamwork. I got you.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Somebody else cooking.
Shoot it, you
All of
clean it.
that 2-finger. Duh, I'm not doing that.
Man, look, I told you I wouldn't eat no possum, but if it came down to it, and it wasn't nothing else, and that joker walking and little grinning himself across the road, I'm gonna have to take him out.
I've seen them in the pot. My grandma Sally was cooking some up, and I couldn't do it, man.
I see them and eat them if it came down to it. Now I love to eat.
Yeah.
And I get hungry enough, it ain't nothing safe. It ain't nothing safe.
No, we are not, Ken. I'm not eating no worm.
Yeah.
Let me say,
It
does.
It would have to be like I'm seeing spots, but I told y'all I'm okay with dying. Like, don't worry, Carbon's
let you die, Carbon.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell y'all.
What's a good rifle to start out when you just begin hunting?
If I would have to pick something to start out, just like most houses, the 12 gauge gonna be 12 gauge, 20 gauge, any shotgun gonna be pretty much your best bet for any type of hunting that's out there. Okay. You got for deer, you got your double offs, you got your slugs, squirrels, you got bird shot, and then they make the magnum loads for turkey. But you also can use those bird shots on turkey, but you gotta make sure you're close enough.
Gotcha.
And that's where I would start it. I started out with a shotgun myself. I was, like I said, I was probably about 5 when I first got my first shotgun. My dad bought us a single shot 410, and that was my first gun. I hadn't killed anything until I turned 12. But I took it every day. Well, I hadn't killed a deer until I turned 12. I was killing squirrels and stuff at 7, 5, 6, 7 and stuff. So, I mean, shotgun gonna probably be the best bet if you starting out hunting. Less chance of missing. That's gonna be number one, because I'm telling you now, if you have never been hunting, when you first see anything, if you're going out there to hunt, that adrenaline rush will make you miss. It will. It's something in itself, because you'll be shaking. You will be shaking bad. But I mean, and if you do start out, you say you want to hunt smaller game like a squirrel or a rabbit, please, people, do not go over there and just pick it up. Poke it first. Because if it's still alive, it's gonna tear you up. For sure, it's gonna do that. They tend to do that.
Y'all got that? It's not like TV.
So can you imagine when crap hits the fan, everybody's going to be out hunting, what it's going to be like if you have to be patient to wait to hunt? Is anybody just thinking about that? Like, people going to be out here with guns thinking it's 1, 2, 3?
No, it ain't like that.
No?
It ain't fast. Even when you squirrel hunt and you see squirrels all the time, you could be walking through the woods, you'll see a squirrel, and he'll move from one side of the tree to the other side. You walk around, he'll go around. You go around to the other side, he'll go around again.
Not just sitting waiting to get shot.
The trick,
right? He's
the
like,
trick to killing a squirrel, like if you out hunting for it and you run into it, you see him in a tree and you see him go around to the other side, best thing to do is pick a stick up, throw it to the other side of the tree, he'll come back around. Because
Oh,
he ain't looking at you. He just paying attention to the sound.
Yeah.
Let me see. My fly family said, how important is it to prep the meat? How soon after you kill it? Okay. Me, man, most of the time, I'll kill a deer. Say if I kill a deer, I kill it. I'll wait 15 minutes or so, depending on how far or if it ran. Give some time to, go and finish off if it ain't finished out when I shoot it. Then I tend to take it right on back. So sometimes it may take me an hour to get home. The thing is, like if it's a male, I don't know how true it is. You got to go ahead and cut them off. Cut all that off. Get rid of that. You're supposed to. That's what they told me. So I tend to do that, cut the neck, let it bleed out. I all this in the process of me loading it on the four-wheeler. I'm taking it back to the truck. So I cut the neck, let it drain on my way back to the four-wheeler. And once I get home, I hang it in the tree, skin it. If it's cold outside and you got somewhere to hang it and you don't have to worry about nothing, they got something that's called a sock that they sell at Walmart that you can pull over it, cut the front legs off at the knee and pull it over it. And you can tie it up. If it's cold outside, you don't have to necessarily just break it all the way down, put it on ice. You don't have to worry about that. I have killed deer when it was a little warmer outside. I still use the sock method because it's actually keep flies off the meat. But if you don't have that, a good thing to use is black pepper. You can put black pepper on it, and it'll keep the flies off of it. I say you don't want it hanging all day, but if it's cool outside, 30, upper 30s, as long as it's under 40, you're okay. Well, that's how I am out here. I've been doing it for years, and I hadn't had anything go bad, on me.
Can you explain the difference between field dressing and taking it back, and processing it back at a processing center or at home later, and why you do that? Okay.
Your field dressing is kind of sort of like what I do. Field dressing, you may some people, like I have cleaned it on the ground without hanging it in a tree. So I cleaned it on the ground, quartered it up, put it in a cooler, take it home. The processing part will start when I get home. Most people would do is they'll just kill it, take it to the meat processor. They don't clean it themselves. They don't quarter it themselves. They don't make the ground beef or, the steaks or whatever themselves. They actually pay for their process. I've been doing it so long that, my dad and stuff, a lot of the older guys in our hunting club has taught me how to process my own meat. Only thing I really don't know how to make is the bologna. That's the only thing. If you ever had deer bologna, you'll stop eating any other bologna.
Never had deer bologna.
Calvin Q.
Huh?
Deer bologna.
Carb is too through.
Bologna has all the parts that you don't want pressed into a meat. So all the parts of the deer that you don't want, that's what you make the bologna of. But
so bologna and jerky, most people tend to make that from your ribs, your neck, and the front shoulders. It's what most people use for bologna or jerky. I tend to cut my hams down. I get my front roast, my rear roast, bottom, top round, bottom round. I usually get all that out of there. And that's what I usually make my, if I'm going to make deer tacos or if I'm going to make a deer stir fry, I usually use that or back straps. Then on the inner side of the deer, like on the inside of it,
Mhm.
right below the rib cage would be the bottom butt part of the deer. But right below that, we call that sweet meat or tenderloin. The back strap, a lot of people get confused. People like, oh, I got some tenderloin. Tenderloin is not the back strap. Back strap is the back
Mm.
strap.
Okay.
But the tenderloin is on the inside. The back strap is on the outside.
Okay.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, I hear Yoki talking about that a lot. She's getting the backstrap because she says she uses it for different recipes. I wasn't
Yep.
sure why that's so valued.
Yeah.
Yep. It's pretty. The tenderloin and the sweet meat is probably some of the most tender part of the whole animal. You know, it's the best part of the whole animal to me. $2 said you need that 3D seasoning, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, he got seasoning.
I'm gonna have to try it out. $2 for sure.
Now,
I'm
I
gonna have to try it out.
I
Much
guess
as I
deer is
love to cook.
considered red meat. I'm not eating any red meat this year, so I guess deer is considered red meat. But worms, are they red meat? I think they're not. I don't think they're.
I don't know what deer consider. I know it's better for you than any other meat. It's easy for your body to process too, because it's real. It's a real lean meat.
Yeah.
I'm talking about really lean. You dang near had to cut a piece of fat from a hog and put it in there to cook it. Like
Yeah, deer meat.
it's easy. It's easy to burn. You know, you put a deer steak in the thing. You know how you cooking a cow. You be like, oh, 2 minutes on this side. 5 minutes on this side, 5 minutes on the other side. You want to do 2 minutes on this side, 2 minutes on the other side, because you'll burn it up quick. It's easy to ruin that meat.
Oh, really?
I think cow and buffalo are considered red meat, and deer and elk are not.
Yeah, it's not necessarily red. It's red when you cut it up, but
yeah,
when deer meat about done, it's got like a brownish color to it.
I've had grubs, TK.
Yeah.
You can.
The red meat.
In our survival, we had to eat
grocery
grubs,
store.
worms, all that stuff. So
deer has a red, a brownish color, a grayish color tint to it when the meat is. It don't necessarily be just red.
Yeah, that red meat thing means grocery store. Yeah, that's grocery store. Yeah,
that's what I figured. Truth and integrity. So yeah, no red meat for the year. So I'll stick with the grubs and worms, I guess.
I'm not even.
All four-legged animals are red meat.
I didn't know that. Well, I know now.
Oh,
I appreciate that truth and integrity.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that. I've been eating it all this time. Well, people, here to let y'all know, I will never stop eating red meat.
Okay. All right.
Not up front, right?
He said that up front straight. Hey, I'm being honest.
I can't let it go.
You sharing all this information. I'm ignorant of anything to do with hunting, and I appreciate it, but it's a learning process, but it's a very great skill to have.
Definitely.
You have to have a lot of you got to be mentally strong to do that. Just my thoughts, and a lot of patience. Something I don't have, but yeah, I don't.
I mean, if you don't like hunting, trapping is always an option. It's a lot easier for people to trap than hunt. Like, not to be there and make the actual physical kill. Instead of coming back and it's already there.
It doesn't matter how you say it. I think the only thing I'd be okay with is fishing. Like the other stuff, I don't think I could do. But it's good to know. Like I never knew any of this stuff. I didn't even know anything that walks on fours is considered red meat. That's crazy.
I didn't know that either. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But you eat that. You saying that to the fish? Your life matters.
Yeah, it's okay.
Your life matters.
Somebody gonna take over the team is gonna be the fish. There's so many of them. Yeah.
I can say hunting is probably it's expensive to get into hunting. One of the biggest false is you have to buy camouflage. I mean, it does help, but you don't have to have it. my actual hunting gear is all like just a brown color. It's not camouflaged, and I hadn't had any problem killing any deer or anything like that. Your most expensive stuff on either if you buying a bow, most compound bows are high. Rifle or shotgun. I mean, you can get away cheaper buying a shotgun, and within you can buy a shotgun within $100 to $200 range, and it'll be effective. It depends on if you want to hunt on the ground or if you need a ladder stand or a blind. And just the process of walking out there scouting it's enough. Like a lot of people don't want to do a lot of walking, so they buy a 4-wheeler. You know, that's the part that's kind of get expensive. It can get expensive real fast. That's just like if you're doing prepping, it can get expensive as you go on. You'll want better stuff than you would just getting into it. You know, you just buy a little more quality stuff.
Well, Charles Henry got a question for you. What's the
DeerMeat.
difference in whitetail and swamp rabbits?
All right. Number one, I know you know is a deer and it's a rabbit. Now you got different between a swamp rabbit and a regular rabbit.
Yeah.
Which is your swamp rabbit gonna be a larger rabbit. Your whitetail, you got all different kind of species of deer, but in my areas, the most common deer is whitetail. They cook a lot different. It's easier to. I ain't gonna say it's easier to cook rabbit, but you're less likely to mess it up compared to a deer if you're cooking it. Most people that cook rabbit gonna either cook it, one or two ways. They're either gonna boil it and make a dumpling out of it, or they're gonna fry it. There's about 2 ways that I done had rabbit, and that's the only ways I didn't really just had rabbit: dumplings or fried, or just a stew itself. Deer, you can make a whole bunch of different things. You got a steak you can get from a deer. You got you can make a gumbo out of a deer. You can, anything that you can pretty much cook with a cow, you can make with a deer.
That's good to know.
I never knew there were swamp rabbits, and that they're bigger than, I guess.
Oh yeah, they like the size of your average rabbit. Probably was gonna be size of little old Chihuahua. Probably. Swamp rabbit, probably them little, the little fat dog with the wrinkly face.
Yeah.
They about that big. They get that big. Like they get big.
Damn.
Wow.
And people don't know. Well, a lot of people hadn't seen it before, but I have. I went rabbit hunting.
Uh-oh. I think we lost him. I think the rabbit got him.
You said the swamp rabbit got him.
Having trouble. Can y'all hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Good.
You thought the rabbit got you.
No, look, the tree with the hole in the bottom of it.
Yeah.
I done shot a rabbit. The rabbit that ran up in there and climbed up the tree inside the hole. A swamp rabbit. That's the first rabbit I ever seen climb a tree.
Jeez.
And the inside though. He went up the inside, but he went up. And I actually had to stick my hand up in there and pull him down and pull him out. He still was kicking. But I did the old 1-2 on him, grab him by the head, slang him out there, bring him back at the same time, real fast. They took care of that.
Yeah. My grandma used to do that with the chicken, like the little wrist flip and break the neck. Yeah.
They say it's barely any swamp rabbit left in Florida.
Yeah, do the pythons.
Man.
Those pythons, that's
everywhere, man.
No, I'm not messing with. I'm not going to Florida. I don't do snakes.
We got some around here, but we got the snake that most people. I mean, we got copperheads. They're probably gonna be one of the most poisonous snakes around here.
Like a bad bite, yeah.
Then you got cottonmouths and water moccasins.
Where are you
Them
at?
the
Are you
three.
Mississippi? Where are you? Down south? Where are you?
Yeah, I'm in Mississippi. I'm close. Man, I don't even know what. I'm at the top of Mississippi,
Okay. Yeah, we had this
close to
called.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those are
I'm
some
close to
nasty
Tennessee.
snakes right there. Those are nasty.
Yeah, we tend to keep. Well, when I grew up, we tend to keep the king snakes and stuff like that. We
Mhm.
tend to keep those around the house. They pretty much take care of all the little poisonous snakes and mice and stuff like that. And then once they get so big, then we get rid of them. But we see a small one, just let it go.
Have you ever had an issue where somebody in your family or a neighbor has gotten bitten by one of them? And what was the medical treatment like for that?
It was a lady that stayed in our neighborhood that actually got bit by a copperhead.
Mm-hmm.
She lived, but it was close. It was a close call. Like, it was really close. They had the antivenom. They had to fly it here and stuff like that.
Yeah. And that's a problem in a lot of rural areas. If you don't have a major medical facility that has that specific anti-snake venom, that could be problematic because those are neurological agents and they can react very quickly, along with death of tissue in initial bite area. So that's some serious stuff right there.
Right. Yep. And so I'm seeing a lot of stuff staying in Mississippi for its wildlife stuff. Like, I guess because I was engaged into it all the time growing up, my parents and stuff. Well, my mom, she don't like no deer. She may eat a rabbit, but squirrels, she not doing that. Like, it's a lot of stuff she's not really doing that my dad do. And we floated around our dad a lot with the wildlife stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But my mom, she don't want to eat nothing that's coming out those woods. If it ain't coming out of the grocery store too fast, she ain't finna eat. The only thing she really ate was like barbecue. She like, I eat the fish.
Yeah.
But all that other stuff, she ain't gonna eat that. She got a real problem with that.
15 feet.
Ooh, that's a long snake.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't do big snakes like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just found out, I've been in San Antonio since '84. I just found out we have alligators here.
Juice crazy.
They caught one down the street from where I'm like, what the? Because they were showing it on the news. I was like, I had no idea. It was like in one of these little rivers here. I had no idea that we had them locally here. So that's another thing.
Man, we got them here. They introduced them here in Mississippi a couple years. Well, it's been a little while back now. Due to beavers. No, they try to cut down on the beaver population.
They
have alligators.
They have a season for them every year. They got a season for them here.
So the beavers, I know there's a lot of issues because they build the dams, which alter the flow of water, and they're saying they're destructive to some of the natural habitat. But the beavers were here before the humans were. And they actually built a lot of the land and stuff like a lot of the features that we value were built because the beavers were maintaining water flow and some of the natural environments. So that's kind of crazy that they're introducing another invasive species to counteract that, which can be problematic in and of itself. How much are they really helping?
The beaver actually is the second, I want to say a beaver mammal, right? Yeah. That's the second mammal that in second place compared to us that changed the world's landscape.
Exactly.
People is number one.
Yeah.
And the beaver is number two.
Right there. I mean, everything that you look around, beavers of, anything west of Mississippi, they've, pretty much formed a lot of that. So yeah. It's a kind of a neat history when you go into it, but
yeah, man. It is good to know, man. People say they can't stand. Nobody that hunts groundhogs or anything like that, do they?
I ain't never hunted that. I eat them though if you cook them.
Oh, okay.
I tried just about any meat one time. I made armadillos and all that. If you cook them, I try them one time.
Man, well,
Yeah.
whew, that is intense. There, you got get Carbon Q back on behind that fishing rod and have her go fishing. You know.
Fish is good.
Oh yeah, fishing is one of the
You muted.
easiest sports to get into.
Yeah.
That's one of the easiest sports to get into and have and successful.
You think it's easier to be more successful fishing than hunting?
Oh yeah, especially
Right.
if you're fishing for like a panfish, like I said, the brims and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's way more successful. That's
Okay.
why I tell people all the time, if you got a vehicle, try to keep you some little fishing line in there. Ain't got to be a whole spool. Fishing line costs what, $2?
Yeah.
If you somewhere, buy you some hooks. That's cost another $2. You got $4, and you like I said, you can get bait from anywhere.
Exactly. I have a survival box. In the bottom of it it's hollow in the handle, and it has fishing line, hooks, and stuff like that in there. So that's that basic. Like you said, get a stick, get you some worms, and you're good to go.
Yep.
I have one of those. I don't want to do it as a sport, but as a survival skill, yeah.
Yeah, we can do
I
that.
mean, even if you did it as a sport,
I saw Ricky Masters. I'm not gonna be out in no boat.
I mean, you can stand on a bank and fish.
They got those crazy big catfish that meant the whole arm was inside his. No, we're not doing that. We just want a little fish to eat.
Oh Lord!
You watch that show and the teeth that's on these things? No, sir.
Yeah. Catfish will swallow you.
Right.
I mean, if you go brim fishing for one time, it's fun. I mean,
Isn't that real bony?
It is a bony fish.
Yeah, I think I've had that before. I caught that one of those.
It's probably one of the better tasting fish out there to me.
Snapper, trout.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the regular fish, not the.
But fish, if you catching fish, like if you doing it for the sport, you don't actually hurt the fish when you hook them. It don't hurt them.
No.
And you can always put them back in there. Take a hook out their lip and put them back in there. It don't hurt them though.
Oh, okay.
It don't affect them from eating and stuff like that.
$2 got a recipe here.
There you go.
There you go.
Wow. You need to write a book, $2.
Oh yeah.
A recipe book.
Yeah, that sure sound good.
Yeah.
That's good to know though.
Yeah.
I had some wild rabbit. My mom got mad because we had neighbors. They were like from Mississippi, and we weren't supposed to. My mom always told us never eat anything out of their house. So they went rabbit hunting and bought some back. And he say, "Robbie, you want some rabbit?" And of course, I said yes. I mean, that was the best tasting. They just fried it up, and it was so good. That was some good eating right there. Of course, my mom got mad, but that was good. Rabbit's good.
Yeah.
Hey, that is good, man. Wow, we did it again, y'all. Once again, it's another Saturday. I enjoyed all y'all.
Appreciate you, DeerMeat, man.
I appreciate y'all for having me.
Oh yeah, hopefully we can get Carbon Q behind that fishing rod.
Right.
We gonna work on that.
I'm with it. It's not the other thing. But you should talk to Gershon and you guys so he can do a class at the survival thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we can work on that.
Hey, Carbon Q, that's what I was thinking about. I didn't tell you. Like for us, them little panfish, like brims and stuff. Good thing is, once you scale them, you probably can get past that easy. You don't actually necessarily have to gut them. You can fry them, and it'll ball up into a little knot in them, and you can eat around it. Like you don't have to do that. It'll ball up, and it ain't gonna be all over the meat and stuff like that. I know plenty of people here in Mississippi that just get the scales off of them and fry them whole. Like I know plenty of people that do that, and you will not know that the rest of it is in there.
Wow. Okay.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
I'm gonna look at that.
Get your gear
like
right.
I said, panfish. Don't get no big old fish and try to do that. Nah, it gonna still be in there.
Big
Bag of
old
tadpoles.
crawfish, yeah.
I'm used to going to the fish market. They already did all that. You just come home, season it up, alignment, all of that. Just this whole out the out the water.
I know my Filipino friends, they always like to eat the eyes. They say, don't throw away the eyes. So they like to eat the eyes.
But
I'm
see,
sorry.
as a group, we have a system. Hunting, cleaning, catching, all that. You might not even have to deal with that.
Have any one of y'all ate mud bugs?
Mm-mm.
Crawfish? Crawfish?
No, I've never had crawfish.
Oh, crawfish. That's okay.
Yeah, they call them mud bugs here.
Jeez.
I don't know if y'all ever had them, but them jokers good. They taste better than shrimp to me.
What are
And
they?
they easy to catch.
Mud bugs.
Catch them in the ditches.
Yeah, they be in the ditches around here. Like
So how do you
around
cook them? You
cold
fry
water
them
river.
up? You boil them? How do you cook them?
Like shrimp.
You boil them. You boil them. Mm-hmm.
Mud
Just
bugs,
do
yeah.
it like a seafood
Crawfish?
boil
Is
with
that a
them.
crawfish?
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the corn and
Not
the
that crawfish. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
so?
good. Yeah, put them things in the pot and boil those up. Those are good.
And they easy to catch, QB. They like,
Yeah.
Look, they easy to catch. All you need is a bucket. You cut a hole in it in the center of it. Throw you some hot dogs in there. Drill some little holes all the way around it, and just lay that sucker in the water. They gonna go in there, and they can't get back out.
Really?
Good to know.
I catch them. I catch them all the time in the summer with my pops.
That's what you call them right here, crawdads.
Yep,
Crawdads.
that's
Okay.
it. Crawdad.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
We used to call them the mini lobsters. Me and my
There you
little
go.
brother said, "Dad, we want some of them tiny lobsters."
There you go.
Oh.
Ditch
That's
shrimp.
good eating. Boil them up.
Just
Get
call
some
them up ditch shrimp.
Yeah.
Go out there and get them.
Hi, guns.
Hookah.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, man. That's
Okay, but that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I don't like to suck the head. I'm sorry, Paul's son.
I do. That stuff was good.
they just
I'm not
don't
doing
even, that didn't even sound right.
No, Paul, son.
Yeah.
Paul, son.
Man, look.
He said, "Paul, turn it off." What
Man, that's the only way to eat them, man. All the flavor in that part of it, when you tear it loose. I ain't gonna lie, it's good.
No.
Look at Carl Q, she gone already.
No.
BB threw me off with that one.
Pause.
Pause myself.
Well,
Yeah. Da-da-da. It's a lot to
hey, this is Survival Saturday. You got to prepare anything. You have to prepare yourself for Survival Saturday.
Yeah, I was watching all the hunters on the side. Nice little list of y'all right here. Okay,
You was getting nauseated. You notice she been going in and out, in and out.
BP, you grew up here in Mississippi?
Well, I have family that's from there. And then they moved to Turtle, Texas. We have family in Caruthersville, Missouri, which is pretty country. But yeah, we have family all down.
Shoot, Caruthersville, real country. My wife's grandma from out there.
That's country.
They had an outhouse.
That's where I had to pick cotton because my grandma Sally, we went there. That's where the possum was in the pot too. But we said we were bored. And she's like, "What?" I said, "We're bored." So she gave us a sack and told us go out there and pick cotton. It was a dirt road. The Mississippi River is right over the hill, right over there, like 150 yards. She made us go out there and pick cotton. We were trying to pick the darn cotton. It was like hurting our fingers. So we're crying. We're like, ugh. And it was like 9 o'clock in the morning. It was already 98 degrees with 98% humidity. So we were out there maybe no longer than 30 minutes. So finally she came out, went in the house, came out with a thing of lemonade and told us to come over there. She said, "As long as you black, I don't want you to ever say you're bored," because we had to pick cotton in those fields from can't see to can't see. And you got all the opportunities in the world. So I don't want to ever, as long as you black, hear me say you're bored. So that taught us a lesson. So you never hear me say I'm bored because I don't want to. No.
Man,
that's so how it is. My pops had us same way. You don't get bored.
No,
we're gonna find something for you to do.
Something for you to do. Exactly.
Okay, you bust wood and move one pile from one side of the yard, the backyard, to the other side.
That was the worst thing for me, busting wood. I hated busting wood.
Ooh,
My daddy
man.
have a whole stack out there. We had a wood fireplace.
There
Did
go.
you have to move that wood during the summer? So I
Man,
put
we
it
had
over
to
in that
bust it.
corner.
Busting in the
Break it
wood. You be
down,
out there
yep.
all day with the chainsaw, busting and cutting wood. Then you gotta go get the
Chainsaw.
4-wheeler, load the wood up, take it to the house, bust it in smaller pieces. I was like, look, Dad, we're gonna have to do something different.
In the summer, we had to take it and move it during the summer, so
Yeah,
the
stack
snake
it.
won't turn into a snake bed.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
And lay
Yeah,
down the
exactly. Because they
plastic
like to get up
bags
in
on
there.
it, and
Wow.
We ain't had too many snake beds around. Well, I never seen one, but I seen them big old field rats run from under.
yeah.
Run barbed wire by hand and feet.
Huh?
Devereaux said, run barbed wire by hand and feet.
That's crazy.
What are you talking about?
Probably had to set up them barbed wire fences, I guess.
Oh yeah, but they don't give you that hole punch thing where you sitting there. Oh man.
Well,
Oh.
And that's a rough job too, putting fence up.
Yeah, fences.
The
No
whole
joke.
griddle thing.
Running a fence. Yeah.
Boy, that's some work there.
Yeah.
wow.
You sit out there all day. I mean, we used to use a hammer when I was growing up when we were buying not buying, when we started leasing property. We could get a deal on it if we did fencing on it and stuff like that. We could lease the property for 3 or 4 years or something like that. The fencing was kind of high, but we started out using a sledgehammer. Then we got a pole hammer.
Yeah.
Pretty much it's just a big old pipe, got handles on it, and you just slide it down and it knocked the post in the ground.
Mhm.
Boy, that's some work. And stretching wire, boy, that's some work there.
For real.
That's some real work.
Yeah.
It's gonna test you for sure. We'll see what you're made of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it easy. So
Yeah. Well, once again, y'all, Survival Saturday, we did it again.
Yep.
Thank you, DeerMeat.
Oh yeah, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for having me in to share some of the stuff that I know. I don't know a lot.
You know a lot. You do.
Hey,
Don't sell your short.
I told Ben, I said, man, I don't really know nothing about the survival stuff like prepping and stuff. It's a way that I grew up. The reason I know some stuff. It's not that I prep all the time. It just I grew up in the country. I always got stuff in my truck, cables, stuff to start fires, 3-4 lighters, all this stuff like nylon string.
Yeah.
I always keep that, but that's just the way I grew up out here. I wasn't really prepping to survive, but if I needed to, I had what I needed in my vehicle.
Yeah.
It's just something I carry on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Right.
But a lot of us now have to call it prepping because we got away from that way of life.
Thank you.
Didn't value it. We let it slip away. So now we got to go back to get what we should have had the whole time, like just a natural state of being.
And please don't say you don't know a lot. You know a lot.
A ton, man.
Oh yeah.
People are paying tons of, valuable information, paying tons of money for this, man, because it's not common knowledge. It's people have lost it. We don't value it.
Sure, I learn a lot from you guys. Like some of the stuff. I mean, I know of it, but I like to hear you guys talk about it. And I watch it and just I enjoy listening to it.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy listening to it. But like I said, I know some stuff. It just pretty much just from growing up around it. Like I've been knew how to filter water and stuff like that. It's just from me growing up, being around. That was something that we would use on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, it's good information because again, we've separated ourselves from that, not realizing how valuable that is. We pay somebody to do something we could do ourselves. Used to do it all the time. Now we're going to pay somebody to come bring us water and charge an arm and a leg for it.
Oh yeah.
Now, if I had to come and survive in the city, I would be knocking on y'all door. Please, I can't make it out here.
We try to get out to where you are.
Get out there, that fresh land territory. You out there.
You don't want to
I
come in
can't
here.
make it in the city. I go crazy. I don't like that concrete jungle. No.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Mm-mm.
That's exactly what it is.
Concrete jungle.
Yeah, you have a wealth of information, life skills. You know how to filter water without a life straw. We're prepping. We have life straws. Some of
Yeah.
us may know how to do it without the life straw, but
Yeah.
that's everyday stuff for you. You know, everyday lifestyle for you.
Yeah.
That's great information. You know how to catch them, kill them, skin them.
There you go.
I appreciate it. I appreciate me sharing the little I know about it, and I mean,
That's cool.
I'm glad to be able to talk about it to someone that's willing to accept the information.
Yes, sir.
Oh yes, most definitely, bro.
You had me looking at field knives. Never would have thought
There you go.
that would be in my
Man, it is a must to have a knife. Like,
Oh yeah.
It was a
I,
kit with several different things.
yeah, they even make a kit for cleaning deer, like
Yeah,
the
that's
whole entire kit.
mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
and it's useful for everything. It's got all the knives that you need in that kit. Even if
Sure.
you're not just hunting, I mean, skinning deer with it. It's got everything.
You even had the thing to open the ribs.
Yeah, the bone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
had that thing. I usually use a stick. I just cut me a stick up and
Mhm.
put it in there. Get you a stick of probably about 2 inches around, and
Yeah.
it'll work fine too.
Mhm.
I mean, that stuff is great. Like me, I grew up in the country. For his knives, I always got 4 knives. I keep 4 knives on me all the time. I got one that's like a razor blade, one just a standard flip open knife.
Mhm.
I got a little pocket like pen knife. It's not a pen, but it's a real thin blade. I keep at least 2 knives in my truck, so I probably got about 7 knives every time you see me. It's
Yeah,
just growing up in the country. My granddad said, "Oh, you got your knife, boy. You ain't got no clothes on."
Does each knife have a purpose?
Yeah.
What's wrong with your little nice stuff?
Hey, DeerMeat, does each knife have a purpose?
Yeah.
Does each of those knives have a purpose?
Oh, absolutely.
Thanks,
Every
Troy.
night is got its different.
We're gonna do that Saturday. Next Saturday, we want you to come back and explain what every knife you have in this purpose.
Oh, okay. I definitely show you that. I like
Okay.
this stuff.
We can show knives on here, can't we? We can show knives, right?
Yeah, knives are good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I
We'll do
got a
that.
whole collection I can show y'all.
Yeah. So that way,
See what's on.
next Saturday, make sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, I'll be glad to come back. I like knives.
All right.
I love knives too.
Do that.
I'm just not gonna kill the animal with it. A human, for real, yeah.
All righty, y'all.
All right. Thanks so much, DeerMeat.
Thanks.
Thanks everybody in the chat.
Everybody.
Thanks for coming in.
Everybody out here in
Appreciate
chat
y'all,
land and
fam.
everything. Thank you. Once again, another Survival Saturday.
Bye.
Oh yeah. Bye.
Be safe, everybody.
All right. Peace.